Welcome back to the Goat Marketing Show. I'm the co-host Nithya, and with me I have Doug Foley. Chances are, if you're still in business, you're doing something right. The trick to a great marketing campaign is to do more of what's working faster. In today's episode, we're going to tell you how to reverse engineer your marketing strategy without rushing to ads, SEO, or any other growth hack you've been told.
So many people I see get fixated on an individual tactic. They're like, oh, if I do this thing, I get 27x ROAS, which for those who don't even know what that means, that's return on ad spend. But yeah, marketers will say those things to get your attention. Today, we want to show you how to use what you have and reverse engineer a strategy to things that close.
The first thing to consider is focusing on what we can do to get existing customers to buy more.
One of the most important parts of what we consider the customer loyalty framework is really focusing on your existing customers. It's really expensive and hard to get somebody who does not know you, does not trust you, to just come in and make a purchase. But most businesses can probably find ways to either introduce a new product or a new service and sell that to their existing customers, or find ways to create subscriptions or complementary services. So, think about you buy a new car. That would just be a one-time transaction every 4 to 5 years, maybe every year if you're really lucky or win a lottery. But the companies or the auto dealers who do well are the ones that offer service or maintenance packages. They find ways of how do I get somebody in to stay here to continue to buy more. And by delivering really good service, chances are they'll buy their next car from you, or they'll buy a car for their spouse, their children, etc. So starting by focusing on how to get existing customers to buy more before trying to just create some growth hack or funnel is one of the best ways to figure out how to reverse engineer a marketing strategy.
Amazing. So another strategy is to drive referrals. And how do you do that?
The first and foremost is do what you say you're going to do. I mean, most businesses, if you look at that have been around for a while, whether it's your local diner, the dry cleaner, your favorite restaurant, they've never had to market because their entire business was built on referrals. And most people starting out, that's what they do. They ask friends, family, they do a good job. A client says, oh, hey, if you're looking marketing agency, my friend Doug, he runs one, go talk to him. Those are the types of things that instead of trying to run a campaign, figure out how can I create such a really good experience that my customers are willing to be my advocates. They're willing to advertise on my behalf. The challenge is most people haven't asked for a referral. They haven't simply asked their customers that, hey, we're looking to grow. Would you be willing to introduce us to a couple people like you who would get value from our service? In certain instances, you may be able to create an affiliate program. There's a lot of software companies that have scaled immensely simply by creating a commission structure for people to introduce them. And you get a percentage called affiliate commission. So focusing before you go to ads, before you go to SEO, locking in on figuring out what does our referral program look like is an easy way to generate new money.
Because people naturally love talking about the things, places, and people that they love. So it's basically taking advantage of a natural tendency of people.
Oh, 100%. I mean, everybody has a story about a restaurant they ate at. It's like, oh my God, you got to go to this place. The food was amazing. This person, like, just look through social media. You'll see that type of behavior. So as a company, try to resemble those traits and you'll be able to get that. But really focus, and it's really important that people ask for the referral. And it kind of leads into the third point, which was how do you share your reputation? Very few people ask for a review, right? They don't go and say, hey, listen, do you mind leaving us a review on Google? If restaurants, for example, like if they train their wait staff, said, hey, if you had a really good experience, do you mind leaving us a review? And actually just stick a QR code right in the envelope where the check is.
Yeah, make it easy.
100%. Like just make it easier to share. And the software industry, they have Capterra and G2 are two websites that have referrals and rank software. So having a focus, if you're in the software as a service space, making sure that you pay attention to that becomes really important.
Absolutely. And that leads us into number 4, building partnerships with people who have the attention of your audience.
So this is a really big one. And if you go back to some of the fundamentals of marketing, there was always paid. So you're advertising, owned, like the audience you have or have built, and then earned being traditional PR or press coverage. But there's a new model called peso, which includes shared. And what shared is essentially that blend where you can find partnerships or collaborations. You see it a lot now where you have influencers promoting products. Now, sometimes they're free, sometimes they're paid commission, sometimes it's just that influencer loves it and they're sharing it. So there's a new blend. And if you go back to our fundamentals video, the first thing we said is marketing's an attention game. And if you have or find a partner who already has the attention of your audience and you can build something that's valuable for their audience, whether you pay them or not is just really coming down to negotiation of the deal. But understanding how to tap into where your audience is a really cost-effective way, or in sometimes a free way, to grow your audience and get your product. So for me, for example, when I launched my book, The Breakout Blueprint, I partnered with AppSumo. And AppSumo is a website where they have a ton of software for entrepreneurs, marketers. So my audience was there. So I was able to get 10,000 copies of my books in front of the right people without having to pay for any ads. So before, again, the whole purpose of this video is to make sure how to reverse engineer your entire market strategy without having to spend money, or at least making sure that's one of the last things you do.
Amazing. And I think number 5 really helps all encompass that you have to be creative.
100%. One of the best ways to consider marketing, and I think most people look at it as an expense. But if you start to shift that and look to it as an investment, but look at it as an all-encompassing investment. How am I going to make the best use of my time in marketing and my money? Most people will tend to just mail it in, or they'll try the growth hack, or they'll pay somebody to do a specific tactic, but they don't take the time to sit down and figure out how and what does my product really do, who does it help, and how can I be creative about getting it in front of people. Sarah Blakely, for example, she's the founder of Spanx. She actually used to go into the stores that her product was in and pitch it. She used to sell people on why they needed Spanx. So being creative and having the passion for your product and figuring out how can I use my energy, my time, and get the word out there. And if you go back to the beginning and just walk through the fundamentals we put in here of how do I get existing customers to buy more? If you're talking to your customers, chances are 1 or 2 of them are going to buy more. If you ask for referrals, they're going to put you in front of some new people. If you build your reputation, whether that's creating content, whether that's getting reviews, those are things that don't cost a lot of money, if any money at all, other than a little bit of time invested to get it done. And then ultimately, as you do those things, you'll find opportunities for partnerships. And right there is how you can reverse engineer a strategy and really understand what is it we do that converts. Once you know that, then you're ready to go run an ad campaign and push more people into those conversion points. You'll know the conversations to have, and you'll be in a much better position to scale.
So we can tell ads and SEO to step aside for a bit, and focusing on these strategies can help grow your company immensely.
100%. 100%. They have a place in time, but mastering these first gives you a stronger and broader foundation for growth.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Doug. Thanks for sharing with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for another great episode. We'll see you guys in the next one.